Inside Donald Trump's prison cell, the surroundings are like any other small, enclosed space. The walls are gray concrete, and a narrow cot with a thin mattress is the only piece of furniture. A tiny metal sink and toilet combo sit in one corner, while a small barred window allows a sliver of natural light to filter in. The sound of clanking bars echoes through the air as guards patrol the hallway outside.
What? What is...
President Trump is 76 years old. He will die in federal prison.
Trump spends his days pacing the limited floor space. The once powerful man now finds himself in a place of confinement.
So, Garrett, we know that David Pecker testified today. We have now confirmed that. Tell us what you know about today's witness and what unfolded in the building behind you.
Yeah, this case clearly very mumuch not dropped, Kristen. The grand jury back in session today, hearing from David Pecker for a second time, which is very interesting. Pecker was the head of AMI, the parent company of the National Enquirer, and served as its publisher. He's a key figure in all this because it was he who, along with Michael Cohen, came up with what amounted to this catch-and-kill plan to buy both the stories of Stormy Daniels, which Cohen ultimately completed, and Karen McDougal, a model who made similar claims. It was AMI's money, National Enquirer's money, that ultimately paid for her silence. The fact that he was back testifying today suggests that somewhere along the line, some other witness either raised questions about his earlier testimony, or that perhaps some element of his testimony is newly relevant or more relevant to the case that prosecutors are trying to put together. I'm not a lawyer. I can only speculate based on what we know about this case. But remember, the idea here is that to make this case into a felony, you need two charges, essentially. You need this idea of falsification of business records to serve some other purpose, some other criminal purpose. So could something with the McDougal payments, could something in the way that Cohen and Pecker, structured their dealings be that second charge? We just don't know. But the fact that, this late in the process, it's David Pecker, not any other witness, who's coming back after Mr. Trump's own witness came to serve as a defense witness last week, is surely relevant, and will be more relevant, I suspect, when we see how this investigation concludes, either with the matter being discussed.
Publisher of the National Enquirer, David Pecker, has been granted immunity to tell what he knows. Subpoenas were reportedly served at the tabloid's L.A. offices. The news comes hours after the president complained about his associates flipping. Just 2 days after President Trump's former lawyer, Michael Cohen, claimed under oath that Mr. Trump directed him to pay women to stay quiet about alleged affairs, the president is downplaying the charges.
Campaign violations are considered not a big deal, frankly.
In an interview with Fox and Friends, the president accused Cohen of making things up to reduce his own sentence.
It's called flipping, and it almost ought to be illegal.
Now there's word another longtime friend has flipped. The Wall Street Journal reporting the CEO of the National Enquirer, David Pecker, told federal prosecutors that candidate Trump knew all about Cohen's payments to keep women quiet about their alleged affairs with Trump. Pecker, who was reportedly a key player in the effort to protect Trump from embarrassing stories, also was reported to have provided details on those payments, which Cohen says Trump directed. It was just last month Cohen released secret audio recordings about the payments that appeared to reference Pecker. Court filings say Cohen and Pecker helped suppress stories that could damage then-candidate Trump. The tactic is known as catch and kill. Stories involved Playboy playmate Karen McDougal and porn star Stormy Daniels. Meanwhile, President Trump is also getting pushback for his renewed criticism of Attorney General Jeff Sessions, who recused himself from the Russia investigation.
And I put an attorney general that never took control of the Justice Department.
Sessions shot back in a statement Thursday saying, "While I am Attorney General, the actions of the Justice Department will not be improperly influenced by political considerations." That was a direct shot across the bow of President Trump.
David Packer, a key witness in the investigation involving hush money payments made by former President Donald Trump, possesses crucial information about the incidents in question. His knowledge stems from his involvement in the events surrounding the payments. Packer's testimony in the witness box regarding these hush money payments is significant because he can provide first-hand accounts and details that shed light on the circumstances and motivations behind these transactions. As a witness with direct information, his testimony is essential in helping to uncover the truth and determine the legality and implications of the hush money payments. Packer's insights and recollections play a vital role in the legal proceedings, contributing to a better understanding of the events and their potential consequences.
He personally approved it, and in fact, President Trump personally demanded that photo of supposedly Ted Cruz's dad, appear on the front page of the Inquirer. Do you know if Senator Cruz knows that Donald Trump approved that personally and made that happen personally?
Oh, he does now.
You also say that the Inquirer, one after another, did hit pieces on all of President Trump's primary rivals. Was the president involved in okaying all of those stories, too?
Let me say this, and I want to be clear to you and to the viewers and everybody. Nothing happens without Mr. Trump's approval at the Trump Organization. To the same extent, nothing happens without President Trump's approval. He micromanages everything, especially and including things that he doesn't know anything about.
But he was getting the National Enquirer to run all of those stories one after another on all the other Republican primary candidates? He was involved in all of those?
Sure. So as each candidate was moving up, let's say Marco Rubio, David Pecker would reach out to me and he would give me a list of things that he was intending to do in order to squash Ted Cruz's or Marco Rubio's rise. Whoever was rising in the poll, that's who became the person that we needed to knock out of the campaign, out of the race. With Marco Rubio, you may remember there was photos of him in a swimming pool, that he had a drug problem, and all sorts of other, we'll call them salacious rumors. And every time that they would be made, they would be provided to me by David Pecker, I would immediately take them into Mr. Trump's office. We would sit down, we would talk about it, he would approve it, and then I would contact David. Next thing you know, 2 days later on the front cover, Marco Rubio has a drug problem.
That is a remarkable campaign contribution to the Donald Trump for President campaign. At least legally, you think that might have been seen that way.
It could certainly be seen, and I hate to say that there's other stations right now that are doing the same thing. They're becoming state-run television, as well as newspapers. That, if Donald Trump sneezed, it's the greatest sneeze in the history of the world, and front page news story, breaking news.
He's nervous.
What'd you do?
On Tuesday, April 4th, 2023, Donald Trump entered a Manhattan courtroom and pled not guilty to 34 crimes.
Squash it.
Fucking movie star. You're a fucking movie star.
Said tick, tick, tick.